Michelle from edutainingkit.com, and I'm so glad you could join me for today's very special little DIY. We are going to be working on turning this boring shadow box into a pin board for Lil Man. He just started collecting, I'm going to set this to the side. He just started collecting the Disney pins. He's not ready to kind of part with them and trade them yet, but he's been watching people on YouTube who do it. So I wanted to put together for some of the pins he's already collected a nice little shadow box to keep them safe in, and so that he could display them in his room or his playroom. And then for his birthday, while I was kind of killing time at the Poly on our last day, I did a little shopping and I found these really cute Disney cat pins because he loves his cats, he loves the Disney cats. So we're going to work on this little DIY for him to kind of jazz up this boring shadow box, and you could also just do it with a regular pin board. I know, baby, I know. So with all that, let's get started on the actual project. So for this particular DIY, I have my shadow box here. Mine measures 14.5 by 14.5 inches on the inside where the actual pins will go. Obviously, whatever you purchase will be different. So your design size is going to vary by the size of the board or shadow box you purchase. I went into Cricut Design Space and used my Cricut Explorer to make this stencil for me. Now, not everybody has access to one of those, so you could always find clip art online. You may not want to use Mickey Mouse here. You may want to use a Disney princess. You can find the silhouette online, print it out on cardstock in the size you want, and cut it out by hand. You could also, if you've got a Mickey shape already, you could also use this, outline it onto onto the back of your pin board. I can talk today. And then just paint by hand. But I'm going to use a stencil here just to make things a little bit easier for me. Now, other materials you will need. If you are using a stencil, you will want to use a adhesive like basting spray. This is a temporary adhesive. It won't leave any stickiness on your burlap fabric, but it does help the stencil adhere to the fabric temporarily so that you can paint without having any bleed through. I am going to use a sponge paintbrush to apply the paint. Make sure you have something to use as a paint tray. I like to use like Cool Whip containers or something else. Recycle, reuse for a while, and then eventually, once it's no good, recycle it. And then you're going to need paint. You can use straight up fabric paint. In my case, I'm going to use a dark like navy blue for my Mickey because my son's bedroom and his playroom, they're both Mickey themed, but they're both dark blue overall. So instead of doing a black Mickey head, I'm going to do it in dark blue. I'm using acrylic paint, so to make the acrylic paint work well on the fabric, I am going to use fabric painting medium, and you mix it a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts of your acrylic paint, 1 part of this fabric medium. Mix it really well, and then you can apply it just like fabric paint. So that's the materials we are going to use for this little DIY. Pretty simple. All right, this is going to be quick, easy, and painless, hopefully. I am going to, if you'll wait 1 minute, I'm going to step outside. I'm going to spray the bonding adhesive to the back of my Mickey Mouse here in a well-ventilated area. Also, it's kind of sticky. You don't want to get it, on your floors or anything like that. So I'm going to go do that, and then we will get started. I'm going to kind of eyeball this. You could use like a light pencil or marker to mark this ahead of time if you want to be perfectly exact. And I'm going to press this down and make sure it's sticking to the fabric pretty well around where I'm going to paint. You don't have to worry about the outside edges so much, but you want it to stick pretty well. We're going to paint. Mix my paints. Remember, it's 2 parts acrylic to 1 part of the painting medium, and this is going to make the paint a little bit thinner, so you really won't need a whole ton of paint. And just mix it all together so that you get one nice solid color. Apply around the edges to try and make sure I don't get any kind of bleed through. It also helps if you're in a drier environment. We've got a lot of humidity here right now, and the kitten likes to jump onto our dehumidifier downstairs, so it's been a little bit more it's been a little bit more humid in this house than normal, just because that machine has not been running 24/7. I've got to catch when it's off and turn it back on. And go back and just get any areas you might have not quite gotten the paint, or you may want it to kind of look uneven so it looks a little bit vintage. I'm just gonna make sure I've got this little edge here and just kind of dab between the sponge and the fabric. A lot of this paint gets soaked up. All right, so as you can see, we've already done the hardest part of this whole project. Wasn't too painful, I hope. So I'm gonna let this dry for about 30 minutes to an hour before I pull up my stencil. I'm gonna get myself cleaned up. I got a bit of paint on me, so do make sure you protect your surface. I got a little bit of paint here and it cleaned right up. But anyway, stick around, we're gonna let this dry and it will go by like, all right, we're back. So hopefully that wasn't a bad wait for you. Oh, and I've got a kitten helper here, so hopefully he doesn't. Yep, he jiggled the table. All right, so with the help of Eugene Fitzherbert here, we are gonna go ahead and remove our stencil and hope everything turned out okay. And remember with this, if it's not completely centered, like I said, helper, that is okay, because remember, you're gonna be putting different size pins around this Mickey Mouse, and then eventually as you collect more, you're going to be putting the pins on the Mickey Mouse. So let's go ahead and see how this looked. Carefully pull it up. Overall, it turned out really well. I see I might fix a little edge right there, and that actually looks like the Cricut just didn't cut well, but overall I am happy with it, how this turned out, and it looks like Eugene Fitzherbert is too. Come here, buddy. Come here, sweet pea. I know. Here, I got a tablecloth on so you can stay up here. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead. Good thing it's dry. We're gonna go ahead and just add a few pins. I'm not gonna add Little Man's cat pins today. I wanna give those to him separately, and I have a feeling he's gonna tell me, Mom, I want those to go right up top. So I'm gonna start with this cute little Splash Mountain one right here. It even goes up and down. Although, you know what? I think I'm gonna place that one, I think, goes perfectly right here in the middle. So I'm gonna place it down right there. That looks not quite centered. Not the best at eyeballing here. There we go. I think that looks awesome right there. He's got this Pirate's lanyard. I'm gonna leave his little pirate starter ones. This is one of the starters you can get right here. I got it from shopdisney.com. But when I got it from him, he just wasn't ready to trade pins yet. He's interested in the concept, but I think as a little one, it's hard for them to let go of things, even if it's for something else that they want. But I got this off of shopdisney.com back in 2017. But we've got this really cool Kingdom Hearts pin right here who loves the games. Maybe someday Kingdom Hearts 3 will come out. So this is one I told him we don't want to trade. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on his pin board. Just stick it down. Ta-da! Here is our finished pin board, and I can't wait to give it to Little Man for his birthday. It's gonna be such a great surprise that he just isn't expecting. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions regarding this project. And remember, as Little Man always says, like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for stopping by.